Hello and welcome back to the Cocked Dice. We're here again with another Perilous Tale. Tonight, Butch Sullivan and compatriots are trekking through the northern climes, Scotland, possibly Norway, not quite sure, in search of furry friends in hunting by moonlight. Which means, of course, we are indeed facing Wolfman and various wolfy things. The table is set up. We've got heroes starting over this side tonight. Gone for the kind of standard setup, and I've just realised they're in the wrong place. They should be out there. So we've got our 8 markers set up. The 3 objectives for tonight are hunt the fiends, kill the villain, and call for rescue, and our rescue marker is right here. Butch and Co have obviously been separated from their vehicles and have been chased around the moors here at night and are desperate to get back and call for help and kill anyone they can on the way. It's a bloody fight tonight. As well as our villains for tonight, we also have the following events. We've got Raging Storm, Struck by Lightning and Booming Skies. They're all from the Sentinel Hill location. And I shall show you our villains and our heroes. And here are our heroes for tonight's game. We have at the front here, of course, it's Butch Sullivan back again, this time coming with Tough Guy as always, and I've remembered his second skill this week. He's coming along with Crazed, which means he ignores horror checks. At the back here we have Mr. Patterson, the lighthouse keeper. He's got his binoculars. Over the side here we have Frankie. She's coming back with Demo Expert. First new addition to the group tonight is Eliza on the side over here. She's coming with Hair Trigger in typical gunslinger fashion. And finally at the back here we have the local landowner Burt, who's summoned Butch and Co to this game. He's coming with Deadeye to represent that rather mean looking shotgun he has. And these are the villains for tonight's game. In the middle here we have our Wolfman, werewolf. He's the master for tonight's game. At the back here we have the young wolf, that's a minion. We have a bunch of wolves, wolfy wolves, just normal wolves. They're the rest of the minions for tonight's games. And I've got a couple of extras just in case I need them. So here we are all set up for turn 1. I've got a fairly easy run for the first turn. So we're going to start with, we'll start with Mr. Patterson. He's going to use his binoculars. In his case, it's his lamp. So he is skill 2. We're going to take a peek at this central threat marker over here. You get a difficulty of 6 and he scores a 10 and aces it. So we'll flip that over. That's number 3. So we know that is a wolf. That's fine. So the rest of them, I think Frankie is going to just stay outside of 6. We need to get up to the board so she can kind of move. I think she's going to come right the way around and stop here, 6 inches away from it. 6 inches away from that one, yeah. Eliza, our new girl for the night, is going to move up to 4 there and move up to this terrain here, just edging into it a little bit. These areas we're going to call difficult terrain, so it's going to be half movement through them, but they do provide plenty of obscuring kind of cover, which is really useful. She's got Hair Trigger, so she gets the I'll cover you, which is now called Eyes Peeled, for free, as a free action. Burt, our landowner, is going to just move 4 inches over here, and he's going to go Eyes Peeled as well. And Butch, of course, is going to go and trigger stuff. So he's going to move 4, 8, plonk himself there, and he'll reveal number 3, which is a wolf. So we'll pop the wolf down in contact with Butch. Take that marker away. Eliza will take a shot at it first of all. So she has Hair Trigger. She's got an extra dice because she's shooting, no disadvantage. There's that way there. She gets difficulty 7 and gets a 1, a 4 and a 5, so misses completely there. Burt is going on. I'll cover you. No, I'll cover you. Eyes peeled as well. He's got 2 attacks. He's got an extra dice because of Deadeye, and then his extra dice because he's shooting. He rolls. He gets a 4. Lowest value for a shooting attack is a 5, so he misses as well. Oh well. There we are. So that's the end of our heroes phase. First turn. It's on to the first threat check of the game. We're at threat level 1. Let's roll the dice. So we get a pair of 3s for difficulty, so it makes no difference there at all. And we score 1 success, which is just simply Noose Titans. So yeah, Eliza's just over 7 inches away from there, so that's fine. I think we're over here as well. No, that's 6, moves in an inch, doesn't it? That's fine over there. This one's closest to Butch, so it's going to move in towards him. This one's going to move towards Butch as well. And these are all just going to move in an inch towards the centre of the table. And then we do threatening overtures and increase the threat level to 2. Next up, the wolf. The wolf is a pack hunter. When it activates, if there are more villainous models than heroic models within 6 inches, use aggressive. If not, use the lurker. Well, he's the only villainous model, so we're going to use the lurker table. It's not threat level 7, so it is able to attack. So it's going to attack first of all. So the wolf is skill 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to bite Butch. It gets difficulty 9 and scores no successes. That's fine, so nothing happened there. And then I believe it retreats off towards the nearest unrevealed, so it's going to be one of these 2. So odds it's that one. It's that one. So it disappears 6 inches, not quite far enough to touch it. That's the end of the villains round. We are back to our heroes. So Burt's going to go first of all. He's within range. So it's 2 dice, +1 for shooting, +1 for Deadeye. And he's going to shoot at this wolf. It's behind some terrain, so it's going to be at disadvantage. If he focuses first, he gains advantage. So he's going to focus first as his first action, and then fire. So the disadvantage countermands the advantaged. So he rolls a single dice. He gets an 8 for the difficulty, but does score a 10, so he manages to squeeze off 2 wounds onto that wolf. Carrying on from that, we'll have Frankie take a shot as well. Does she have a clear line of sight to it? Yes, it's less behind the terrain than behind it. So she only gets three dice. She gets difficulty 2, that's obviously increased to a 5, and scores a single 6, that takes it up to 3 wounds. She'll shoot a second time. Gets difficulty 3, increased to 5. She scores a single success there, and that takes it to 4 damage, and I think that's enough to kill it. Yep, 4 wounds, so that comes off. Just got 1 minion down. And I'll put a counter on my minion. Kill the fiends, because I need to kill 3 of those at least. Okay. Next up, we'll have so Eliza's going to move up to this bit of terrain here, so that's a double move because it's 4 inches through difficult ground, and she'll use her hair trigger ability. The groundskeeper's going to move up. Oh, he's shot. He'd focused and shot. He can't do that. Frankie's shot. So it's just Butch and Mr. Patterson. So first of all, Butch is going to order Mr. Patterson to move up 4 inches to there. In actual fact, so I don't need to do that. So he's going to stand at the back, and he's going to take a skill check to check this one here, because I want to see which ones of these I can trigger. So he gets difficulty 1, scores a 5 and a 9, so we'll flip this one here. That's a 7. That's disaster strikes. So that's not overly, it's not awful. Butch is going to come across, where's 6 inches away? 6 inches. So he is going to order Mr. Patterson to keep up. She's on Overwatch. He's going to move 4 inches to there, within 6. Yeah, he'll do that. So he'll move 4. That's actually going to be, that's move because he's moving through difficult terrain. And he'll trigger this one here, which is just within 6 of him. And that's number 5. That's another wolf. Grab another wolf and pop it down here. I'll spin Eliza around so she can take a shot. So Eliza's going to take a shot with her trigger. She gets difficulty 3, that's increased to 5. We score a 3, an 8 and a 9, so that's 2 damage on the wolf as it comes in. And that ends our hero's turn. So we are on to the villain's turn. It's the threat check. It's currently threat level 2. Make a roll. So we've got difficulty 3, that's a single success. That is Noose Titans once again. So we'll move all these in. Next, the wolf will activate. 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's skill 5. So there we go. So let's roll them all in the tray. Ow! That's not good for Butch. So he's got a difficulty of 8, but he scores an 8 and 2 10s. So that's 5 damage minus 1 because of tough guy. So that puts 4 damage onto Butch. I need to increase the threat level to 3 as well. Forgot to do that. That's it. So we are back to our hero's turn. So Butch has got himself in a bit of trouble. First of all, I'm going to use Lighthouse Keeper, Mr. Patterson, to make a skill check and have a look at this one. It's difficulty 1, so he succeeds there. We'll flip that. That's a number 4. That's not awful because that is another wolf. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move. Burt's going to move up 4 towards this, but stop short of 6 inches of it, and I'll cover you. I keep wanting to call it I cover you. It's not called that anymore. Eyes peeled. Frankie's going to do much the same. She's going to move a little bit closer into the middle, but stay outside of 6 and go eyes peeled. Mr. Patterson's bin. Eliza is going to move, staying 6 inches away from this, onto this rock here with 1 action. And she's going to punch the wolf with the other one. I want to free up Butch if I can. She's not. There we go. She's balancing on that rock. She's going to give the wolf there a quick punch. See if we can get rid of it. Oh, missed the tray. So we get a difficulty 4. It is skill 5, so it's a difficulty of 5. She scores a 5 and a 6. That's 2 more wounds, and she punches out that wolf, which is rather handy. So we've got 2 minions down so far. She then obviously gets her 0 action. Eyes peeled, leaving Butch to roam freely, which is great. So Butch is going to move 4. Stay outside of 6. I can't actually squeeze past really. I was going to see if I can do 4, 4 and trigger 2 of them, but I think I'm just going to trigger 1. He's going to move right around to here though. And trigger number 4 here and get another wolf out. That's the 3rd wolf out. That triggers, lands there. And just before we end our hero's turn, it's going to take a whole host of shooting. So from Frankie first of all, it's a shooting attack. So she gets difficulty 7. She scores a 10 and a 7. So that does 3 damage to it. Burt also gets to shoot. So he gets difficulty 9 and scores 1 9. That blows the wolf away before it even gets to Butch. There we go. That is 3 of those fiends down. We're on to the villain's turn. It's threat level 3. So we have 3 dice, 2 difficulty dice with the advantage. So we take the 7 away. It's difficulty of 3, 4, 5 for the party. So we've got all 5 members of the party still on the board. So it's a single success again, so it's back to threatening overtures. So 1 inch, 1 inch. 1 inch. And I think this will trigger, because yes, it's 7 inches away, so that triggers there. That's number 6. That's the one I didn't want to have. Raging Storm. This threat marker remains in play and affects the whole board. All models' maximum line of sight is now 6 inches. And then we apply threatening overtures, which increases the threat level to 4. So we're back to our hero's turn. And we're now in a rock and a hard place because that's going to hurt somebody. It could be 7 damage. It might have to be Eliza just triggers it and piles through. We want to keep... Oh, hang on. It doesn't do anything to him immediately. Just trigger the whole board. So it's 6 inches. So I can't really use Burt anymore, which is a bit of a pity. But I don't really want to have a whole while. I'd like to get the extra victory point for not wiping the party tonight. So we want to get to the ammo crates. So I think the best way of doing this is 6. So Bert's going to move up to outside of 6 of that one. Did I move that? It should be an inch closer, shouldn't it? Because I forgot to move it. It's threatening overture. Because it's not actually revealed yet. That is revealed. That isn't revealed. It's been binoculared. So 6 inches out would actually be a little bit further back. So he's just outside of 6 there. I don't want Butch to trigger this. So Butch is going to move around to 8 there, staying outside of 6 of it. He's got a second action, which he's going to order the lighthouse keeper to move forwards to just outside of 6 of it. Move over there, move lighthouse keeper. He'll just go on eyes peeled. I'll have to start marking these because I'm going to forget. So he's on eyes peeled. He's on eyes peeled. Eliza's going to move over here, staying 6 inches away from that one and that one. And she'll take her free eyes peeled check. Frankie's also going to move up here and just stop there. I'd like to try to trigger 2 markers this turn. The lighthouse keeper is just going to make a run for it, so he's going to walk straight into here and trigger disaster strikes, which is raging. No, it's not. It's struck by lightning, number 7. So this is a skill 7 attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It gets difficulty of 7. We score an 8 and 9. That's it, 2 damage. Phew. Remove it after it's triggered. That was it. Whoa, Mr. Patterson, you were a lucky, lucky guy there. That's the end of our hero's turn. We are on to the villain's phase. The threat level is 4 currently. So we roll a 6 and a 1, take the 6 away. It's difficulty 1, which is increased to 5 because I've got all 5 party members there, which means it's still only a single success. So it's on threatening overtures again. However, that's going to trigger multiple markers. So this one's going to trigger here. That's number 2. That is the young werewolf. So she springs out and triggers there. Eliza's on eyes peeled, so she's going to take a shot at that. I don't think anyone else can see it because we've now got line of sight. It's only 6 inches. So as it comes rushing out of the undergrowth at her, she'll take a shot. She gets difficulty 3. That's increased to 5 because of its skill. And so you see she gets a 3, a 4 and another 3. So that does a single point of damage to it as it comes. Oh no, it's not difficulty 5. What difficulty is it? Skill 6. She still does that with a 7, that's fine. I'm forgetting it's not a wolf. So it's another minion. It's pretty tough, but we'll see how it goes. The other one, this one here, is going to trigger as well because it moves within an inch, and that's number 8. Booming Skies. When revealed, the revealer must pass a skill check or be immediately knocked down. So a skill check for Mr. Patterson. It helps roll the right number of dice. So he gets a difficulty of 4, scores a 9 and a 1, so he is not knocked down. And finally, this one moves towards Butch, and we know what this is. That is the main bad guy. So that is the threat done, threat check done, and then a 5. Move to threat level of 5. Next up, the wolf, young wolf here, will attack. She is skill 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so although she gets a 7, she gets 2 10s and a 7, and that deals out 5 damage to Eliza. Youch. So we are back to our hero's turn. First of all, Mr. Patterson is going to move 4 inches over to here, and with a single attack action he's going to thump the werewolf. He gets difficulty 3, that increases to 6 for the skill, and scores an 8. That does a 2nd point of damage to the young wolf. Next, oh, it should have been on the advantage, I missed that. I'll do that again. On this one, because there's more than one friendly model engaged, you get the advantage on the attack. So Eliza will do her first attack on him. It's a pair of 4s, doesn't really matter. That increases to skill level of 6, I keep forgetting, 6. And we score a 4 and a 9, so that's 1 more point of damage from Eliza's attack. I'll do the same again. We can throw the 8 away, but she scores a pair of 1s, so fails to kill that young wolf. That is a slight problem there. Butch will order Frankie to move. It's call over, range 8 inches, yes. So Frankie will move once, so move 2 inches into here. We'll move another 2 inches into here. So that's a 2nd call over from Butch. Butch's third action is he'll go back onto I'll cover you. The groundsman will, I think, can he focus and then go on its next skill check? Yes, so he's going to focus. He keep his shotgun pointing over, covering Butch, and then he will go on I cover you. So I must remember he gets the advantage on the shot. Maybe if I put loads of tokens next to him, I've got the vaguest chance of remembering. So I think I'm in fairly good stead there to try and pop that werewolf with a couple of shots as it comes round. So that's Frankie. We've done all these, so it's just finally Frankie. Now she should have taken a unsteady on foot check earlier. So she does that, she passes it because of this marker here. She's then going to move into contact with the radio. Take another unsteady underfoot check, just passes it. So that's her one action, her 2 inches towards the radio. And then her second action, she's going to use the interact skill to do the radio. Where's the call for rescue? Interact with the radio marker. The rescue has been called. Spawn 2 minions, each 5 inches away from a random heroic model and as close to the villainous board edge as possible. Note the current threat level. When it gets to 4 higher. Okay, so she's going to make an interact action. She gets difficulty 6 and scores a 9, so she's successful and she is called for the rescue. So I'm going to just move this card over here to my threat marker. So we're at threat level 5 currently. And then I'm going to remember this time because I forgot last time. I need to spawn 2 extra minions, which are going to be in this case wolves. This turn is going to go to pot. That's got 4 bad guys on the table. And so we'll randomly generate a hero. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 inches away from Mr. Patterson. And same again for this one. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 inches away from Burt. So this one leaps onto over the car. Okay. Right, we're on to the villainous turn. It's the villainous threat check. We have a difficulty of threat level of 5 and the advantage, so we take the 8 away. We've got 5 members of the party there still, so we are on 2 successes. That's still the Noose Titans. There's only 1 marker to go. That's this one, which comes to here and pops, and oh look, it's the Wolfman. And then we apply an increase to the threat level for threatening overtures. Before we go further than that, we've got these two have got hair trigger shots, not hair trigger shots, I'll cover you, eyes peeled, get the right skill name eventually. So Butch is going to take a shot against the werewolf as it piles out of the woods. Difficulty 5, it's always difficulty 5, so his skill level doesn't matter. So I score a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. That bumps 4 damage onto the werewolf. How many wounds? He's got 12 wounds. Ooh. And it's in combat with Butch, who only has 8 left. They're quite vicious, these werewolves. Burt's going to fire as well. Now he's got the advantage. So hopefully we'll get some decent numbers here. Or not. So we get a difficulty 8. And he scores a 10 at least, so that bumps 2 more damage onto it. So it's halfway there. That's not bad, not awful. The villain has arrived, or the master, sorry, has arrived, so that bumps the threat level to 7 as well now. And that is the end of our hero's turn. No, it's not, it's the villainous turn. That's the end of the threat check actions. So we're going to go with our villains. So we'll start with this one here. No, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't got a D8 with me. Start on the young wolf down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll reroll 5 or 6. 1, 2. So this wolf here triggers first. Now, I've got to get this right. It is a pack hunter. There are more villainous models within heroic models within 6 inches of it. No, there's not. So it becomes a lurker. The threat level is 7 or higher, so therefore it becomes aggressive. And aggressive says it moves 6 inches towards its current victim and then tries to attack if able. So 6 inches towards its current victim, which is Mr. Patterson. Moves straight to Mr. Patterson and attacks. Now I'm fairly sure that because of this combat, neither gets advantage or disadvantage. So the wolf is just going to try and bite Mr. Patterson. It gets difficulty 9, it scores a single 9, so that does 1 more point of damage on Mr. Patterson. That's okay. We'll go and roll for randomise which bad guy comes out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, it's the werewolf. The werewolf is skill 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And attack. So he gets difficulty 3. Butcher's skill is 4, so we're looking at 4s for this. He scores a 4, a 5, and a 10. So that's 4 damage. -1 for Butch is tough hide. Means Butch is up to 7 damage. I can live with that. Its second attack is Frenzy. Its second ability is Frenzy. After making an attack with this model, if there is another hero within 2 inches, no there isn't. So what would normally happen is the werewolf would then bounce onto the next target and attack it. So that's pretty good. Okay, we've now got the young wolf and this wolf up here. So we'll 1, 2, 3, it's this one. 4, 5, 6, it's this one. 1, 2, 3, it's the young wolf next. So she's going to carry on attacking Eliza. She gets difficulty of 6 and scores a 6, a 6 and an 8. 3 more damage. Uh-oh. That's Eliza out of the game at 8 damage. And so finally it's this wolf here. So it's going to move towards its nearest target, which is Frankie. Pop down here and it will attempt to bite Frankie. 3, 4, 5. It gets difficulty of 3. Frankie's only skill 2, so that makes no difference there. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. That is 5 damage on Frankie. Ow. Ow, ow. We're back with our heroes phase. I think the first thing that needs to happen here is Butch needs to detach himself from that werewolf. So he's going to kick off. skill 5 check. He's going to attempt to break from combat. He scores a 9 for difficulty, but gets a 10 as a success. Escape from combat skill check. Minimum difficulty equal to the highest skill value, which is 8, of the engaged model. If it's equal or greater than the number of enemy models, I can make a walk action. So it is. It's one enemy model, and I've got 1 success. So Butch jumps backwards down to here. Oh, I've just knocked all the dice over. That was a 1. There we go. Behind Butch. For his second action, he's going to shoot the werewolf. I reckon between these two, they might be able to kill that werewolf. So he's going to shoot the werewolf. 5 dice. Off we go. So Butch gets difficulty 5 on his attack. He scores a 10 and an 8, dealing 3 more damage to the werewolf. It's only got 3 damage left. Can we kill it this round? Butch's third action is shoot the werewolf again. He gets difficulty 8. Oh, Butch, you are a champion. So he gets difficulty 8. He gets a 10, a 9 and a 9. So that does 3 more damage to the werewolf, and that kills the villain. Scorching stuff from Butch there. That's brilliant. I think Frankie goes next. She's going to attack the wolf in combat first. Oh, she's going to try and break away from combat first. She gets difficulty 10, so she auto fails that. She's going to do it again. I need to get out of combat. Difficulty 2, that's increased to skill of 5 for the werewolf. She gets an 8, which is a single success. She's going to dodge 2 inches out of cover there to there, and she's going to take a skill check to see if she stays on her feet. She gets difficulty 8 and just about succeeds. So that's really good. Burt. Is it covered? I'm afraid it's got this. So I'm going to fire on disadvantaged. 3, 4. Instead of focusing. So it's skill of 5. That's fine. He gets a pair of 9s. That was 2 damage to the wolf. A single crit would be nice on his second shot. Shot number 2. He gets difficulty of 9. And scores a single 9. Oh, Burt, your shotgun just didn't pull its weight there. Could have done with 1 more of those down. Okay, and finally, we've got Mr. Patterson, the lighthouse keeper. He's fighting at disadvantage. A pair of 10s would kill the wolf, so he's going to attack the wolf. He gets difficulty of 4, that's increased to 5. He does a single damage to that wolf. There we go. At the end of the round, I've actually killed the villain, so that reduces the threat level. So that takes it back down to 5, which, whilst that sounds good, means I've got longer to go. So that is the end of the turn for our heroes. We are on to the villain's turn. It is threat level 5 now. Far away. It's difficulty 2. 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 heroes left, so it's actually difficulty 4. We score 4 successes this round. That's Crawling Chaos. It's horror checks. Yay, my least favourite kind of checks. So Butch is immune to horror checks because of Crazed. But rolls an 8 and gets an 8, so he succeeds. Frankie rolls a 1 and rolls a pair of 1s. I think that succeeds. Burt rolls a 3 and gets a 3 and a 4 and a 6, so he succeeds. That's okay. And then we apply the news Titans. There are no unrevealed threat markers, and then we apply threatening overtures, which takes the threat level back to 6. Now we are on to the villainous creature's turn. So we'll randomise this. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the wolf first. So it's skill level 5. It's got the advantage attacking poor old Mr. Patterson. So it's skill level 4. It gets 1, 2, 3, 4 successes on him, does 4 more damage to him. 6, 7, so he's got 1 point of health left. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the bad guys. 4, 5, 6, it's this one over here. Threat level is 6. It is a pack hunter. There are not more villainous models, so it becomes a lurker. Can it attack its current target? No. Or else, is a model within line of sight of a heroic model but not within range to attack it? Move it towards the unrevealed threat marker. I'm presuming that if there are no unrevealed threat markers for lurkers, it just moves backwards. So it's going to bob 6 inches back over here towards the villainous board edge. And finally, it's the young wolf, which is probably the worst way round of this going for me. So she is skill level 6. She's got the advantage. She gets a 6 and scores a 9, an 8 and a 7. That's 3 more damage on Mr. Patterson. He is killed. That indeed, I do replace him with a young werewolf. Now I haven't got any more young werewolves, so I'll just pop a wolf on instead. That's all of our villainous models gone for the round. One thing I've not done the horror checks for someone dying with an 8. So Frankie needs to take a horror check. I forgot it for Eliza earlier as well. Difficulty 8 there, so she hoofs it. She runs back 4 inches towards the... Does she run 4 inches towards the board edge or towards away from... I think she goes back towards the board edge because it's that one. Okay, so she's just in range of that one. Which means these are going to potentially pounce. Do I take the fight to them or do I back off? I think she's first going to take a pot shot at this one here. Because she can and she might kill it. She gets difficulty of 3, that increases to 5 for the skill level. She gets a 5 and a 7, that only does 2 more damage to it, leaving it on 1 point of health remaining. So for her second action, she's going to back off. Burt's next. He's going to move in 4 to range here. To get to 6. There we go. And with his second action, he's also going to shoot it. Going to take them with me. Burt, you've completely fluffed that shot. Clearly, he was too panicked facing off against this bunch of wolves late at night, and he makes a critical failure. We've got hero next. 6 inches just in range. That's fine. So his first action is going to be order Burt back. Second action is going to move 4 inches over here, just within range of 6 inches because of the storm. And he's got second action, he's going to take a shot. Oh no, that's his third action. Ah, that's not a good idea. So actually, Butch is nearly dead. I don't want to lose my hero today. He's just going to move there. And thus ends the turn. We're on to our villainous turn. Threat level 6. So difficulty 3 roll. I've only got 3 heroes left. We've still got a load of 1s, thankfully, so it's only 3 successes. Crawling Chaos. Butch is immune. Burt gets 7, but critical success is that. Frankie gets a 5 and fails. Frankie moves 4 inches back. She's got the right idea. And then we increase the threat level by 1 to 7. We're on to the villains. We've got 4 on the table at the moment. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Who activates first? 4. It's this one over here. So it's now aggressive again. So it's going to move 6 inches forwards. That's not a problem really. 6 inches moves it to about there. That's there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the next one to go. 1 is this wolf here. So it just moves, so it actually moves 3 inches to there. Difficult terrain, 1.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. It's this one. It doesn't actually matter here because they're all out of range. Carrying on nice. It just piles down a hill 6 inches. And finally, this one also goes towards the nearest enemy model, which is it target someone within 10? Hero within 7. For the wall with the fewest wounds remaining. That's Frankie, so it's going to head straight towards Frankie at the back. So it's going to move 6. So it moves 3 to there, 1.5 through the terrain. That is the end of our villain's turn. We're back with our heroes. So going first is going to be just out of range. But I want to keep them back. I want to keep 6 inches away from all these bad guys all the time. So the first action is going to be from Butch to order Frankie forwards to here. Second action from Butch is going to be shoot this wolf over here, because it's probably the easiest target. And just need only 1 hit on it. So he gets 5 attacks, and it's disadvantaged because he's shooting across. Oh, actually, no, I think I can see through the gap. Oh, Butch, that was close. So he gets a difficulty of 4. He scores a single 6, doing 1 point of damage to that minion and killing it. Takes up to 4 minion kills. With his next action, Butch is going to back off to outside of 6 of these. Back off 6 inches this way. Next, we'll do Frankie. Frankie's going to shoot at this wolf here. In the open. She has difficulty 8, scores a single 8 and blows that one away. So it takes us to 5 dead minions. She will then do the same as Butch. She'll move back 4 inches over here. Burt is last. He's going to be brave and take a shot at the young wolf. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he gets 2 normally, plus 1 for dead eye, plus 1 for shooting. So shooting at the young wolf, we get difficulty 2. That is increased to 8. No, it's not increased to 8 because it's a shooting attack. It's 5. He gets a 10 and a 9, so that's 3 more damage to the young wolf. Takes her up to 6. And then he is also going to back off. There we go. That's the end of our hero's turn. We're on to the villainous turn. It is now threat level 7. I've been very, very lucky with these threat checks this game. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got a 5 as our skill level, as our threat, no, our success level, difficulty level. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. This is where it all starts to go wrong. From the shadows. Spawn a new minion. Wolf within 1 inch of heroic model with a fierce. That's within 1 inch of Butch. Oh no, that was Eliza who's got the free shot. That would have been handy to pop a shot at it. Okay. And then we apply the Noose Titans, which it doesn't do anything of. Oh, then we apply Crawling Chaos, sorry. Crawling Chaos is horror checks, so Frankie gets a difficulty 5 and scores a 6 and a 9. Groundskeeper gets difficulty 6 and gets 6 and 8, so everyone passes their horror checks for the game. Then we apply Noose Titans, there's none of that. Then it's Threatening Overtures, and we take it up to threat level of 8. It's on to the villains activations. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, it's the first wolf. So this first wolf has any enemies within 7? No, so it goes to the most wounded 6 inches. So it's going to move 4 to there, 2 out. That was an excellent use of terrain to slow them down. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, it's the young wolf, so he's got 6 wounds left. Oh, hang on, he's got 7 wounds. He can take a total of 12 damage. He's got 5 left, whereas Frankie's only got 3 left. So again, this is going to move 2 inches, which is 4 of its movement, and 2 inches out. Okay, and then the wolf there attacks Butch last of all. It scores a difficulty of 1, Butch is skill 4, so it sets the skill level as 4, so he gets 2 hits on Butch. He ignores one of those, so he just adds 1 more damage to it, takes him up to 8. Butch has got 4 damage left. Excellent, we're back with our hero's turn, and I've just come up with the most audacious plan. First job, Butch is going to order Frankie to move. Can he do that while he's engaged? Hero only. Yes, he can. Doesn't say he can't. Frankie is going to move to within an inch, just outside an inch of these two. Then Butch's second action, he's going to attack the wolf that he's in combat with. He gets difficulty 9, scores a 10, so that's 2 damage to that wolf. And he's going to attack it again because he's got plenty of space. Difficulty 7, he scores a 7 and a 10, he kills that wolf. That takes me up to 6 minion kills, not that it matters now. Perfect. Next, it's Frankie to go. She's going to attempt to lay charges. She's going to use her Molotov cocktail and set one off right in their face. So she focuses first as a first action to get the advantage. Takes the check. She takes the 9 away, which leaves her as a difficulty of 5. She scores an 8. So we've laid dynamite. I'll place that just there, base contact with her. She then gets to do a walk action away. She hoofs it back 4 inches this way. We are running out of board. And then the dynamite explodes. Every model within 2 inches of the dynamite marker. That's both of those two. Suffers a skill 6 attack that ignores line of sight. Take that, werewolves. How do we deal with them? We blow them to hell. So the first attack on the young wolf, excuse me, scratch my eye, it gets a difficulty of 7, scores a 10, a 10, a 7 and a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage on the young wolf. That blows the young wolf completely off the table. The second attack on the wolf is difficulty 8. It scores a 10 and a 9. That puts 3 damage on the young wolf, on the wolf. Wolf. And finally, our last character of tonight. I suspect this is game over. He's going to be groundskeeper. He's going to aim his shotgun straight at that wolf. He gets difficulty of 4. He scores a 9, a 9 and an 8 and blows the wolf away. That's 2 more minions. And there we have it. So we'll count up our victory points for tonight. So first of all, our leader is alive still. So that is 1 victory point for Butch not dying. We have Hunt the Fiends. I've scored 5 or more minions, so that's 3 points. That takes us up to 4 points. We had Kill the Villain. That scores us another 3 points. That takes us up to 7 points. And we had Call for Rescue. If the rescue is called, for each member of your party alive at the end of the game, score 1 point to a maximum of 3. That is another 3 points. That takes us up to 10. That's 10 victory points. A truly heroic performance. That's my best game yet. I was expecting that to be horrific. So once again, thank you for joining us here at the Cock Dice. Please like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel and click the little notifications icon to keep up with all our latest content. We'll see you again soon. Good night.